Hi, this is John Gleason, the president of the Gleason Community Fund, a knowing and growing organization here in Genesee County. Our organization does many things throughout the calendar year, and this is the kickoff of our activities for the year 2020. In spite of the coronavirus, we are moving forward with our devotion and dedication to those that need life-saving gifts, such as mine. When I received my life-saving gift, it was in September 18th, 2001. 19 years ago, I was given a gift of life-saving by my sister Rita, and I've made a devotion to make sure that those that needed the gift themselves, we would do all we could to help that. So now we're kicking off the 2020 essay winners. We're joined here today by a nice, highly educated, I had a nice conversation with her before the show began, Abigail Main. She's the first recipient that we're going to speak to today in this award day. Rainy outside?
Yes.
A good day for a good show inside.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we want to thank you for being here. And don't be nervous.
I'm not.
I know it's unusual. We have the plastic here and you're wearing the mask between us. The room has been sanitized and wiped down to make sure that everybody's safe. But Miss Main, I want to ask you a question. Organ donation is a growing need, but it's growing also in the unknowing. People don't have as much information as they should about giving the gift of life. Why did you choose to be part of this essay?
I personally did not have anyone that was that had organ donation, that received organ donation, but I knew that it was important to the medical community and to save a lot of people's lives, and it helps with research and just advancing the knowledge of the human body and saving lives at the same time. Most
people don't know you can donate in excess of 60 organs, tissue, and cornea to a receiver. What was the focus of your essay? Obviously, we can't read them all on there today. What was the focus? What angle did you draw to decide to write this essay about?
In my essay, I just highlighted the major benefits of organ donation, like having good come out of a tragedy. For example, if someone got into a car accident and if they weren't able to continue their life normally, they could donate their organs and have the potential to save multiple people's lives who are in need of organ donation, and just highlighting the fact that we can learn more about the human body and saving people's lives at the same time.
And you have a thought that you want to go into medication yourself, some kind of medical field yourself.
I do.
Can you speak briefly about that, if you
would? Yeah. In college, I'm going to be majoring in nursing, and after college, I hope to go on to graduate school to become a nurse practitioner, hopefully working in pediatrics or in the NICU.
What would you tell the viewers of this show today about why they should donate? What would be one really significant reason why they should donate?
I think that if they are healthy enough to do it, they should, because they would be saving people's lives who would otherwise might die without the organ. And if you're able to donate, I think you should. I mean, you can call yourself a lifesaver after you did, and it's just a very honorable thing to do, I think.
Okay, this is the last question. This wasn't bad at all, was it?
No.
You want to go into the medical profession.
Mm-hmm.
Now thinking become even more than a registered nurse, a nurse practitioner,
mm-hmm.
where you can actually have more hands-on with your patients.
Right.
What will this experience today, what will that help you with in regard to that, your goal?
I think I'll definitely be more passionate about it if one of my patients need one.
There you go.
And obviously I'd want the best for my patients, so I'd encourage organ donation to help as many people as I can, to help my future patients and patients that aren't mine.
Yeah, there is some hesitancy about giving, and there's even hesitancy, if you can believe it, about receiving a gift.
Right.
I want to thank you, Abigail Main.
Thank you.
Goodrich Martian,
yep.
Class of 2020. Your year has been disturbed with the virus. You didn't get all the fun and all the events that you typically get in the senior year in high school.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for being part of the Gleason Community Fund 2020 essay contest. We have a certificate here on behalf of our board. We actually have a nonprofit organization that we have board of directors that help us make decisions. And this is one of the highlights of our year because of what it means to us. So I want to present this. This is a certificate from our organization. And also because we have a great collaboration with the Genesee Health Plan. Most people are familiar with that around the county.
Yep.
It's a county-wide millage that provides health care to low-income citizens of Genesee County. And on behalf of the Genesee Health Plan, we're going to offer you this certificate as well. So if you ever get around to having an open house, I hope this gets displayed somewhere of prominence.
Oh,
I
it
want
will.
to thank you again. Thank you so much for being part of this event.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck in your future.
Thank you.
God bless. Hi, this is John Gleason again with our next essay participant, Abigail Arns. Abigail is from Cardinal Country, Davison, the homeland of my dear mother, Mickey Grotto. Back in 1947, my mother graduated from Davison High School. Miss Arns, I want to ask you the question about how in the world you became involved with the essay. How did you find out about it, and why did you do it?
Well, my health science teacher initially introduced the essay to our class, and I thought it was really interesting at first because my parents like to watch informational episodes and stuff on PBS, and one of the episodes was about organ donation, and I just thought it was super interesting and what are the chances of my teacher introducing this and then my parents also watching it. So I thought I should write about it since I learned so much already.
Have you had any conversations with your classmates about this effort?
Our teacher brought in a organ donator, or not a donator, someone who's received an organ.
Yeah,
and
that's what I am. I'm a recipient as well.
Yeah, and I thought her story was really impactful about how it impacted her. She had a kidney transplant, and just the life changes that she had to make and how she had to do it. It was awesome to hear
I'm
her
an
story.
Irishman, Abigail. Johnny Gleason, you probably see by my colors over there, right? And our Gleason, our logo, Gleason Community Fund logo with the heart and the shamrock. It's interesting that life is so fragile. I was sick my whole life. I was congenital. From birth until my transplant, I had kidney issues. And now what we're trying to do with this Gleason Community Fund, we're trying to keep pushing out so that we get more people participating, not only in the essay, but we want them to have confidence to be a recipient, which it takes courage to receive that gift as well, and also those that do the donating, the gift givers themselves. So we're trying to elevate that, and your participation in this essay helps us move that goal down the field. If you could say one thing to some individual that was hesitant about being a donor, what would you tell them?
Just to educate yourself and understanding the benefits that can come out of it. It can be life-changing to your perspective on the world and others, and just not being put in a difficult situation, but being educated and understanding, oh, this is what I can do for others and myself at the same time.
Are you a class of 2020 as well?
I am.
And you're going to school where next year?
Lourdes University.
Oh,
Yep.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So you're probably a friend of Father Andy's.
Yeah.
Huh? Everybody knows Father Andy. If you
Oh,
mention
yeah.
Lourdes, you know Father Andy. He's a dear friend of mine from Davison as well. Did you have a discussion with your family when you started writing your project? Did you sit down with the family and say, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah, I wanted to include my mom in it because she was a donor of bone marrow. She did
Oh, fabulous.
the non-invasive way, so it wasn't as painful, but she still gave, and that kind of inspired me to still write it. So we talked about that and how she did that.
That's what we're really trying to move on. The Show Us Your Heart on the driver's license. Do you have that on yours?
Yes, I do.
And how was that experience? Tell me how that worked.
Well,
You went to the Davison Secretary of State right downtown, right?
Yeah, and then they have you either circle yes or no, and I decided to do yes because I just thought it would be more impactful for myself to do it instead of putting my parents in a situation to have to say yes or no, and I thought that'd be a mature thing to do.
And when did you do that?
When I first got my license.
A couple years ago.
Yes.
And then were you reminded of that when you did the essay? Were you reminded of that experience?
Yeah, reading about the information of how many people actually do sign up when they register their license and first get their license, and the people that actually don't is kind of a big number.
I know I was in the State House and State Senate both. And I was the legislator that authored Show Us Your Heart legislation to put the heart on your driver's license and let you register at the Secretary of State office. great team. We worked with the National Kidney Foundation, the Gift of Life, Michigan Eye Bank. We had a very strong collaboration between different organizations that were striving to increase their numbers. Before Show Us Your Heart, before that project was implemented, only 600,000 names were on the registry.
Yeah.
What you experienced at the Davison Secretary of State office, it was just so easy.
Right. It's such an easy process to do, and you are more educated about it, and you now know that I'm in that position to give.
And from that time forward, we've added over 4 million names on that registry. Michigan was by far the worst. We were the worst state. And that's why we continue pushing forward with your help and others. That's why we do the essay contest, because you'll have a discussion with your family and your friends about what you learned. And it seems to me like you kind of copped an attitude about those that didn't want to get on the list to begin with.
I think it's an amazing process, and it's a great thing for not just yourself, but for others, and what you can actually give.
It's the ultimate gift. It is the gift of life. Well, anyways, as most people know, we started this Gleason Community Fund a few years back. It's a nonprofit, and that's how we raise money and awareness of the shortage of gifts, particularly here in Genesee County, but across the state of Michigan as well. Are your parents, are they on the donor list as well? Do they have the Show Us Your Heart on there?
Yes, they do, yeah.
And you're going to promote and talk to others about how we have to continue to grow this, right?
Oh, yeah.
So on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund Board of Directors, I'm going to offer you this certificate of participation for the 2020 essay contest. And then our great friends over at Genesee Health Plan, they want people to know that they are supporting this project and supporting the students as well. And so they offer a certificate as well. We believe that if you ever get back to having open houses again, that will be placed in a prominent location.
Of course, yes.
And then on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund, we want to let you know that you are a recipient of one of the scholarships for the 2020 year. And we thank you for your good effort.
Yes,
and I hope you continue this discussion.
Of course.
And I wish you all the luck in the world in your career choice.
Thank
you. Thank you on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund.
Thank you.
Hi, and our next recipient today, participant, essayist, writer, bard, right?
Yes.
Is Mariah Brenz from Powers Catholic High School, land of the Chargers.
Yes.
Just a brief history on yourself. Athlete.
Yes.
Played sports for Powers.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to take that talent to another level.
Yes, I'm playing at Albion College next year.
And no scholarship.
No.
Just athletics.
Right.
Were you offered any other scholarships?
I was offered actually a few others, a lot in Michigan, like different D3 schools, but I was actually offered one D1 actually in New Jersey, but I didn't want to take it because it's just a little far for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just sticking with academics mainly.
I want to ask you, as I've asked the prior participants, why did you do this? Why were you involved in the essay?
Well, my grandfather donated all of his organs when he passed away, and my grandmother is currently on the registry for U of M, and I just have such a passion for medicine, and I'm a big advocate for organ donation.
Would you share that name? Your grandpa's name?
Oh, yes. He is Albert Brenz.
Albert Brenz.
Yes.
How old?
I'm not sure his
And
age.
grandma's how old, about?
She's 74.
Yeah, young.
Yes.
And so your grandfather died quite young as well. She
Yes.
passed early. That's not very old today, 74 years old.
No, yeah.
When you seen their gift, and how long ago did your grandfather give the gift?
Probably about 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
So you weren't around.
No.
But your family talked about
Yes.
what a great gift he had given. He died very young then.
Very young, yes.
And your grandma says, look, good for him, good for me. I'm going to do it as well.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
now you write an essay asking your peers, contemporaries today, to please join that list as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was one of the most important things you learned?
I just learned about how organ donation is so important worldwide, not just to the U.S., but especially in underdeveloped countries, and also the biggest ways to just spread the word about organ donation.
I'm going to give you a quiz.
Okay.
What are the two major reasons for kidney failure?
I'm not sure actually.
How about hypertension, high blood pressure, and diabetes?
Mm.
I always said sugar diabetes. I always said that. Mariah, I said, sugar diabetes. And you know what my doctors told me?
What?
John, there's no other kind. It's diabetes. You don't have to say sugar. That's all there is to it.
Right.
If you could talk to one of your contemporaries about the importance, I know you did the essay, what would you, if you had a one-on-one conversation with one of your contemporaries that had an opportunity to give, and they were thinking about whether they should do it or not, what would you tell them?
It's just such a great experience. You become a hero not only for one person, but you can become a hero for many, and it's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And being a Powers Catholic Charger, your faith is important to you.
Yes, absolutely.
And going to a parochial school, important to you. Mother Teresa said, there are no great gifts. No great gifts. There are just many small gifts that culminate in a great gift. Now that you have written your essay and you've learned more about the subject itself, if you could do one thing to improve the effort for those that want to give the gift or are thinking about, what would be one thing you would change? We have the sign up at the Secretary of State's office. You can go online and you can sign up there. We have our organization, the Community Fund. We do that throughout the year. We have sign-ups. We work with Mott Community College. Sholanda Griffin over at the Gift of Life, she has concurrent sign-ups throughout the county. What would you improve on to get more names on that registry?
I would mainly say just to give an incentive to those who want to join, because that will really push them to join. And if you just spread the word and provide them with maybe like, I don't know, a t-shirt or a bracelet, then they'll really want to join. So.
Boy, them bracelets.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have a bracelet.
Right.
Actually, when Gift of Life, when they do sign-ups, they give some very elaborate, flamboyant shirts. Gift of Life, give the gift.
Right.
But maybe we don't do as good a job as we should about promoting the sign-up days themselves.
Yes, we could spread the word about that too.
Now, I want you to do this. You're an athlete.
Yes.
The Gleason Community Fund, we have an annual road race. This year we're part of the Crim series of races. Glory be to God, we have linked up with that famous name. And it's great to have anything that's affiliated with Bobby Crim. It's great to be part of that.
Yeah.
We have a road race July 25th
Okay.
at Genesis. So maybe we can use you as an instrument to help promote that road race. It's called Donation Nation, July 25th at Genesis Hospital. Maybe you can be one of our advocates when you get back and talk to your athletes.
Yes, absolutely. I'd be honored.
All right. I want to thank Mariah Brenz for being part of this. I really want to thank your grandpa.
Yes.
That was very progressive 20 years ago to offer that gift
Yes.
so that others could have a chance for enhancement of life or maybe a life-saving effort itself. I mean, that's the ultimate gift.
Yes.
When you give everything. My sister gave me a kidney, and I thought it was everything in the world at that time, but when you give your whole person, you can't do much better than that.
Right.
And final question, I do have to ask you this. Because we wrote a piece of legislation also that they teach organ donation in driver's education. Do you remember that coming up in your class at all?
I do. I actually remember they taught very extensively on that, and that really opened my eyes to how beneficial it can be.
Well, there you go. So now you're part of the team.
Yes.
And I want to, on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund, offer you a check, a scholarship check for being one of the
Thank you.
top essayists. And also, as the prior essayist received, this is a certificate of participation from the Gleason Community Fund. And as always, we want to remind the viewers, Genesee Health Plan is a big collaborator with us. They believe in organ donation because they provide health care for the low income who don't always have the best nutrition, dietary attention that they need.
Right.
And they're big promoters of organ donation as well. So on
Thank
behalf
you.
of Genesee Health Plan, which is a county-wide millage,
Yes.
Genesee County was one of the first to pass a millage to help low-income people have health care access.
Wonderful.
So on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund, especially the Board of Directors, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, our next entrant for the Gleason Community Fund Essay Contest is Jocelyn Ridley, future student at the University of Michigan, Flint, going into medicine.
Yep.
I have to ask you, like I asked them all, why'd you do this?
Well, it's actually in honor of a very close family friend of mine. His name is Luke Reese. He passed away about 1.5 years ago, and he donated his skin and his corneas, and he was able to save over 60 people.
Isn't that a fabulous
Yeah,
gift?
yep. It's
So
wonderful.
he passed away probably young.
Yes, he was, I believe, 34.
And most people don't realize you can give over 60 gifts.
Yeah, yep. You can help multiple people. It's not just
Tissue, organ,
tissue.
cornea, over 60 of them.
And you don't have to be a healthy person to donate either.
I got to tell you this story, Justin. I was the author of the bill, first person consent. If you were over 18 years old, your family couldn't veto your decision
Yep.
to donate. It was one of the major reasons why Gift of Life, they weren't getting the gifts that they needed because there was no discussion
Mhm.
whether you wanted to be a donor or not with your family members. So most deaths, like your friend, it was a traumatic or unexpected or young age death.
Yes,
And the discussion never took place.
right. Yep.
So when they would go to the hospital, many times, too often, way too often, it was a bedside decision,
Yes,
car accident or
it's-
whatever.
yes.
And the family would say, well, I don't know, and it was traumatic. Could they have an open casket? Of course you can.
Mhm. Yep.
Are the religions against it? No, the religions aren't. There was no impediment to giving except the trauma that the family experienced.
Yep. Yep. There's a lot of end of life misconceptions. You don't really.
Was his,
know that,
did they have some advance warning about his loss?
There was definitely hesitations in donation. His wife definitely needed some support and guidance in, education about it. She didn't know exactly what it was, so she ultimately made the decision after a consult with my mother, actually.
Oh, isn't that
Yep.
way to
Yep.
go, Mom? So they were a close family friend.
Yes, yes,
Um,
very close.
Now it's been a while,
Yes, a
and
year and a half.
I bet you the discussion has changed to one of the best things they've ever done.
Yes,
that the
actually.
spirit lives on.
Yep. Shelley Reese, his wife, she actually went on to be a volunteer for the Gift of Life Foundation.
Fabulous.
Yep. So she's a big advocate for donating, and she actually was a mentor of mine this year for my senior capstone project. And with this project, it's a senior exit project that all seniors are encouraged to do, and it's something like supposed to be a gateway into your college, degree.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be something.
You kind
that
of
you're
missed the
passionate
big
about.
gateway, didn't you, in the last few months?
Yep. But I was still able to use my capstone project because I got to send it in for the essay. That's actually what I sent in. was the
We
essay
had
about-
discussions as a nonprofit board about how we would fit this essay in with other opportunities. Did this seem to work out pretty well for you? I mean, there was one example where you could
Yeah.
actually link it up with another opportunity. So the
actually-
timing was good for you?
Definitely. I was able to incorporate my. I actually did an organ registry with Shelley Reese, and that was my project. It was after basketball games, and we would
So
sit
you
out
went
there.
to the high school gym and set up a table?
Yes, I had an organ registry.
How did that go?
It went really well. It was kind of a difficult atmosphere because
Oh,
there was
yeah.
a lot of youth, so it was a hard crowd, but we were able to spread awareness. So even getting to talk to people about it was wonderful. So I think we were really able to educate more than we thought, because even just seeing us there and getting the name out, Gift of Life, the idea of it anyway.
I want to ask you this, Jocelyn. You maybe don't see it as often as I do, but I'm an older guy. Probably doesn't look that way to you, but I'm a lot older. Us old guys, maybe your mom's one of them. One of the first sections we turn to in the paper is obituaries.
Yes. Yep.
And when you look at the list of obituaries and you say, my God, why is anybody waiting for a gift?
Yeah. No
They're
kidding.
dying, and the old bumper sticker, I hope you have one, it says, don't take your organs to heaven.
I believe
Heaven knows
Michelle
we
has
need
some
them
of
down
those.
here.
Yep.
Yep. And tell me some of the interesting dialogue you had with when you were doing your sign-up.
Oh my goodness, so many. There was an old gentleman that would come every week just to talk to us. Well, he came for the games, of course, but he would see us there and he would sit by our table, and he had a heart transplant, and that was a big deal, obviously.
What was his name?
I cannot remember for the life of me. He had a speech problem, so
Yeah.
it was also very hard to understand him. But he was so excited to come see us and to talk with us about his transplant and his recovery. And he would also sit with us and talk to other people. So he would kind of help us, and it was very special. It kind of was an opportunity for him to be an advocate. So it was very sweet, you know.
Semper
Older
Fi
gentleman.
with the Marines.
Yeah.
We have the same spirit. Those are who have received the gift, we have the same spirit among us. That we have got ours. Now, Tom probably told you, he wants to do everything he can to make sure others get theirs as well. You have that spirit that you have to reach out,
Yes.
that we must do more for those that are waiting.
Yes.
Because we've experienced it, and there you can't believe the inner drive.
Yeah.
Maybe with the family friend that you have, that you understand through that mother
Oh, yes.
about the drive.
Yeah.
Did she ever get to link up with any of the recipients?
She actually received a letter from the gentleman who received his corneas.
Yeah.
And I think that's what motivated her to become a volunteer, that getting that feedback from the gentleman who was the recipient. And I think that's what ultimately helped her get involved. I mean, you know, having that push.
There's a drive. You
Yeah.
really, you just thirst to make sure that those that are waiting get it. How would you make it better?
Oh,
What would you do better?
more
What do you see
education.
that
Yeah.
we need to do better? Do we need more assemblies at high schools?
yes, for sure. There's a utter lack of information out there for people who are just trying to figure it out. You know, like you said, too many of these decisions come at a bedside, and
Yeah.
that's not enough time to educate yourself and to make yourself aware of what it really is. And it's just it's not fair to families, you know, to have to make those decisions
Boy,
when they're
it's a
grieving.
quick
You
one.
know,
It's a
so
quick
it's
one.
definitely more education for sure.
When you get older, you see more death.
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
family, your parents, your aunts and your uncles, grandma and grandpa, they just move on. And you realize how you're not as infallible as you think you are.
Yeah.
You are a mortal human being and your days are numbered. Some get longer, too many get shorter days. But I want to thank you. And a final question. How would this help you in your career in medicine, the work that you did on this essay? How could that help you?
Well, I think it'll grow my passion, you know. I'm definitely an advocate for the medicine field, and I really want others to become more aware of this kind of lack of donations, you know. And working in pediatrics, there's a lot of pediatric donations that are needed all the time, and just definitely becoming more aware is something that I maybe can offer, because I'm educated in the crisis, you know, and I think I can help others become more aware.
It's amazing. When I got involved with this and started really working hard towards it, after I got mine, I was just driven.
Yeah.
I got to get that one. I got to get. And people started saying, "Man, don't get near Gleason. He's going to get your organs."
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, how many people came up to me, even last
Yeah.
year,
Yeah, for sure.
and their very young child
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
they had the gift.
Yep.
We had a very young girl, 9 years old last year, that received a kidney transplant.
Wow.
Parents, infants,
Yep.
I mean like months
Yep.
old, that have received hearts.
Yes. Yep.
It's just amazing how that conversation, what you did now, that there'll be a light go on. People will talk to you now the rest of your life.
I hope so. I welcome it.
All right, so now, on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund, we want to offer you this scholarship on behalf of the work that
Oh,
you
wow.
performed, and we wish you all the luck in the
Thank
world
you
with this
so
medicine.
much.
And on behalf of our nonprofit board as well, on behalf of all the board
Oh, my
members, we'll give
goodness.
you a certificate of participation, and as the other entrants have received also, we have a beautiful certificate from the Genesee Health Plan, our
Thank
collaborator
you.
who runs the
Oh, wow.
county-wide low-income health plan for
Yep.
Genesee County recipients. They understand how important our work is as well.
Oh, yes.
So
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And don't be quiet.
Oh, no, never.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jocelyn Ridley, I'd like to present this $5,000 check on behalf of the Gleason Community Fund as the winner of this year's 2020 essay contest. Thank you so much for being
Thank
involved
you.
with this.
Thank
and I
you.
hope it
It's so
gets
exciting.
put to good use.
Oh, yes,
And on behalf
for
of
sure.
all those that have contributed to our foundation, we'd like to thank you and congratulate you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is John Gleason. Thank you so much for viewing this very, very important program today. We want to thank all the participants for the great work that they did, doing the research, having the courage to step really forward and be part of this very unusual effort. We want to thank the parents that help work and learn right alongside their sons and daughters through this process. Most importantly, we want to thank the donors that help us throughout the year to raise money to give this contribution to these marvelous, marvelous students. We know that they will use this experience to become better advocates, to be very outspoken, to help close the window on the need for organ donation across not only the state of Michigan, but across this great country and world, in fact. So I want to thank you again for the participants, the donors, all those that have been part of this great show, and thank cable TV production as well for airing this very, very important program. God bless, be well, and please donate. Give so others can live.